A conversation can be had to see if it's fixable.
And sometimes there's no conversation because people know when they had you fucked up at. They know when they doing some old fucked up ass shit. And let me say, sometimes we think we are exception to the rule. No, baby. What they show you is what it is.
It's part of their values.
It's part of their values and principles. So.
What's up? How you doing? We gonna get right into it. So y'all, we are in our second episode of the 20-something series.
And I'm her mom, Tam.
Period. We got a special guest, which is my mom. And today our segment is gonna be about work-life balance and maintaining friendships in your 20s. Okay.
In your 40s.
Maintaining friendships, period. Okay, so the first question is how to tell when a friendship no longer serves you or if a friendship just needs rekindling. I'm gonna let the guest go first.
Repeat the question.
How can you tell when a friendship no longer serves you or doesn't need rekindling? Like, is it fixable?
Okay. Well, I should know a lot about this subject. I have lost two of my closest friends within the last few years. And a lot of times, you know that it's not fixable when y'all not standing on the same principles. It's rekindling when it's something that you can talk about and get past and make amends and come to an understanding. But when people's principles are different and people are going into different lifestyles or don't stand on the same things, you can't fix it.
Okay.
Everybody's definition of loyal is different.
Right. I feel like it's the same thing. Yeah. Just when they're doing things that don't stand with your personal values, that's when you have to be like, okay, a conversation can be had to see if it's fixable.
And sometimes there's no conversation because people know when they had you fucked up at. They know when they doing some old fucked up ass shit. And let me tell you something. I learned it in an older age, but I should have been of the heat of it in my early 20s. It would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of pain with friendships. People would tell you shit like, Tam, I won't do it to you. Yes, they will. If you see them moving a certain kind of way or rocking a certain kind of way with other people, they are capable of doing it to you because that means that these are the things that they do, period. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we think we are exception to the rule. No, baby. What they show you is what it is.
It's part of their values.
It's part of their values and principles. So a lot of my friendships that I lost, not because it was no love lost, but it's just we ain't standing on the same thing. When you doing me a way, I want to do you. And a lot of times, and that's what we have to learn also, people don't have the same heart as you. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes you be expecting yourself from people, but people are raised different, people are bred different. Some people are raised off love, some people are raised off survival, and the morals and principles change depending on how you were raised. And then some people are raised on love and survival. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a balance. But a motherfucker in survival mode will snake you, and it ain't nothing personal.
Yeah, it's just how they are.
It's just how they are. And I know, and I just had to make sound decisions on I can't move with them because they moving like that and don't move like that.
And they won't realize it because
they don't see nothing wrong in the way they move because of how they been moving. You understand what I'm saying? It's just some shit I don't stand for.
Right. Okay, so the second question is, do you feel as though balancing work and your social life has been difficult from your 20s now?
Not really. It's inflation, so I can balance very well. I take my ass motherfucking work and I stay my ass at home. But no,
like when you were younger, do you think it was easier or right now?
I think it was very much easier. When I was younger, when I was 20, I bought my first home. I was pregnant with you. Prior to purchasing my home, I had an apartment and stuff. But it was much easier because the cost of living was so much cheaper. Back in those days, I would go to work 2 jobs, go to church. But I went to the club the night before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, especially with the expense of living, the cost of living is so high. It's working home anyway.
I feel like it's difficult. Like, well, especially during the summer when I was doing school and work and trying to figure it out. And then it's like also we're in a weird season where everybody's changing. So it's like in your 20s is when you try to figure out who you are, and they're trying to figure out who you are, and you start outgrowing friendships, and then they might become busier than you, and it's kind of like, how do I balance all of this? And then you're trying to figure out who you are, just your purpose in all of this and that and third, and sometimes you go into a depression, you might not want to talk,
right?
And then they take that to, you know, heart and start.
I have lost a friendship that felt like I didn't spend enough time with them. They see me spending time with other people. And not because nothing had happened wrong, they just were like a territorial friend. People have to understand that sometimes you're on the outside looking in, and the way things look is not the way they are. You know what I'm saying? If it's a friendship that you value, try to have a conversation, reassure them of their position in your life. One of my best friends now, we haven't spent any time together this year. I've probably seen Auntie Sierra. I probably only seen her maybe once this year. She's running 2 businesses, but sometimes I see her go out, but I don't take that personal. Those might be people that's right there in her setting, or there might be a special function. You understand what I'm saying? But I know if I call her, if I need her for something, she's gonna come through. There's no question else asked, there's no details needed. So it's all about people being able to be secure in the position that you are in a person's life, and realize that people have their own shit going on. Everybody has their own thing going on, and you cannot take people living life personal. You know what I'm saying? Really, for myself, you know, I'm 40, I'll be 41 in September. Libra gang. Where I'm at right now, if it's somebody's birthday, I would celebrate that. But other than that, I'm not a clubber. So if your setting is the club, I'm probably not really interested in going. I like, you know, I have my poetry nights because I write poetry and stuff. Or if we're going to brunch, or early dinner, or lunch, or breakfast, or something like that. Or even if we're going out, exercise, something like that. But it's certain things that just don't interest me. I've grown. So certain settings you won't see me in. You understand what I'm saying? And not knocking nobody at 40 that's at no club, because nothing is wrong with it. Because I love me a good cocktail. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't like crowds.
So do you feel like you can handle or cultivate high maintenance friendships where they need constant attention in this point of your life?
I cannot. And if I had learned younger, you put yourself first. I've always been a selfless. I've always been a very selfless person. Try to make myself available for everyone, for everything. But had I learned what I know now, you put yourself first, because you're pouring from an empty cup when you're trying to show up for everybody else. And people don't know what you're going through inside your household, what you're going through personally, internalizing, what you may be going through in a relationship. So you're trying to be there for everybody. You're shorting yourself. And when you're shorting yourself, that comes with stress, sleep deprivation, sadness, depression. You know what I'm saying? So put yourself first so that you can be what you need to be for everyone else.
I feel like I struggle with setting boundaries when it comes to friendships. Like, hey, I can't talk right now. Instead,
you set boundaries when you go and do that stuff.
That's not setting boundaries. That's not setting boundaries. You're just ghosting.
Hey friend, I'm busy today. Hey friend, I'm tired today. Hey friend, I'm studying today. Hey, I don't owe you no explanation. Today is my day. I'm grown.
Yeah.
And people, and somebody that loves you, gonna understand that. Hey, sometimes she needs to find herself. As long as when you really, really, really need me, if it's an emergency, I'm here. But don't feel bad about taking a step back. Because again, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You gotta pour into you. You gotta refill you. You understand what I'm saying?
And for those people pleasers and selfish people, you have to have those uncomfortable conversations.
Sometimes I be getting ready to go to sleep. Somebody be, hey Sam, I'm about to pull up. Hey, I was in the area. And sometimes I have to just be like, look, I'm really tired. Today was a day. You know, but for a while I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I pushed through. And you know, I would say I've done it in the last 2 weeks, because it's like I'm the friend that every friend comes to when they have things going on. So sometimes I have to make myself available, because most of my close friends don't have other close friends. I am their person. You understand what I'm saying? So I am learning to set boundaries, as I can say. Sometimes people, what they have going on will pour into you. So you gotta protect your energy and your space. You gotta know when you're able to take that shit in, because sometimes you can't take that shit in.
So how can you tell when a friendship isn't genuine?
Isn't genuine? Sometimes you don't know. I had someone around me for many years that other people, you know, stated, you know, they was jealous of you, or they could, you know, tell things. And sometimes it's like, I try to find the good in everybody. You understand what I'm saying? But a person will always show their hand. Sometimes we close our eyes to certain things because we don't want to see those things in people. A person will always show their hand.
Right.
Sometimes they want to dirty you up.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Tell your business. And pay attention to how people move when you're no longer in their life. See, real friendships, you may outgrow each other. Y'all might have misunderstanding. Y'all may not never speak again. But it's some people that I will never speak to again. That it's enough loyalty there, even though we'll never speak again. I'm not nowhere bad mouthing them, talking about their business, talking about them we know been through. It just cut ties and say no more. You understand what I'm saying? But
because your loyalty don't change.
You'll know when it's ingenuine. If you feel any inch of jealousy from a person, they cannot genuinely be your friend. Yeah. Your friend is gonna be happy for you, even if you're not in the same season they are. People have their seasons. Sometimes if people think you are too happy, think that you have more, think that other people take a liking to you, you will sense that jealousy and that envious. If you start to sense jealousy and envious, the friendship ain't solid.
I feel like you can also tell when a friendship isn't genuine when, like, you know how they say misery is love's company? They'll take your information. They'll become real good friends with you just to get your information and spread it. And tell
people spread shit on me, but get with it. I get zero faults because anything I'm living, anything I'm doing, I can stand on all 10. I'm an open book anyway. Yeah. But I had went through that too. For a lot of people, they say all your shit. And I'm still holding their shit. You understand what I'm saying? Just because I'm silent, I'm loyal. Sometimes you can be too loyal.
Yeah. And it's also difference between certain categories of friends. Like some friends,
you have your party friends, you have your prayer friends, you have your personal friends. And sometimes you might have people that overlap into those categories, but sometimes we don't categorize people in the right category. And that's where our feelings be hurt because we have people at a higher pedestal than need me. Maybe that's just your card friend. When you're going out, going to kick shit, that's your friend that you know you're going to have fun with, but you don't need to tell them shit you got going on.
And sometimes you cross the line from associate and friend. Everybody not your friend.
Exactly.
So just because y'all cool and y'all kiki maybe at work or
keep that shit surface level because these folks do not be who they say they is. Keep it surface level because you don't know how a person will react when things don't go their way. Keep shit surface level because you don't know when they get mad who holding their necks on you.
Yeah. So how can you spot a real friend?
A real friend gonna check you when you wrong. They gonna call you out on your bullshit. They gonna still support you in your bullshit, but they gonna call you out on your bullshit in private.
But that's what I be seeing on social media. A lot of females, they be like, my friend can't do no wrong. I'm a friend, whatever. No.
That ain't your friend. That's why you have people that's thinking because they got yes men. You cannot do nothing with no yes men around you.
Sometimes
you
gotta
lose
have
everything.
Right.
If somebody don't tell you,
sometimes
hey Tam, slow down.
Yeah,
you
somebody
wrong.
Call you out.
Hey, you going the wrong way. You need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to take constructive criticism. Now, sometimes people be judgmental as fuck.
Yeah.
And they can have all the answers to your shit, but seem to be blind to their shit.
Yeah.
But be able to take constructive criticism.
Right. So, was maintaining friendships in your 20s hard?
No.
No? Why?
The friends I got, I pretty much still have. A few of them don't fell off, but most of the friends I have are still there. Now, in my 20s, I was married. And we stayed far from the city, so I didn't see my friends as much, but we talked almost every day.
I feel like it's hard for me, just because of my personality. Like,
I always tell you, if you want good friends, you have to learn how to be a good friend. Sometimes you'll just shut down, and people take that personally because they won't shut down if they need you. Yeah. So you have to be able to try to open up and make sure they understand it. It's not personal that you're an introvert, but you still have to make yourself available sometimes.
Yeah, I try to make sure that I let them know what type of person I am. But people, sometimes they'll hear it and they'll be like, okay, cool, I can deal with that. And then once it happens, it's like, oh, I can't deal with that.
Guess what?
Like,
oh, those are not your people.
Right. So you have to have people around you that
understand you.
That understand you and can deal with who you are, because it's
just all about not being selfish. It's about balance.
Yeah, you also have to
balance is very important.
You also have to sacrifice, and that's what I'm learning now. Like, I have a more on the clingy side friend, so I'm learning. I'm learning to communicate
My friend, we
more.
don't even talk anymore, and I love her to death. But I'm sure where she's at.
But I'm learning to communicate more because, like she said, she doesn't feel the care of the friendship.
Friendship has to be reciprocal.
Yeah. She needs her care in a certain way. And she needs it by just, checking in and making sure. You can't just go days without texting her and then pop up out of nowhere. You gotta say, hey, today I'm not feeling it. Communication.
That's too much for me.
Communication. But I'm starting to get used to it, and we're really good friends right now. But it's all about communication and where y'all stand as friends and what you can and cannot take, and set your boundaries and figure out what you want around you.
Is this friendship worth sacrificing for?
Right.
Is this friendship worth putting that extra time in?
Yeah. Alright, you guys, that's the end of this video. If you haven't already, go ahead and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to join us money gang, period. And if you would like to see more content of me and my mama, put some videos.
I'm a poet.
Period. Go ahead and promote yourself.
My name is Tamara Dion. You can follow me on all social media networks at Tamara Dione, the pretty poet. And you know it. Ha! They're around in. You seen that?
Period. So I'm gonna put her social media down at the bottom. Alright, see y'all later.
Stay blessed.